What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So finally, Senator Bernie Sanders has introduced this $2,400 raise for Social Security. So he's introduced this into his committee, and we'll have to see if it goes any further. We're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to show you the actual press release, and then we're going to talk about the future, what could potentially happen when it comes to this $2,400 raise to Social Security. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so first off, I do want to let you know the CPI score is in, so the Consumer Price Index score, and I will do a separate video on this probably tomorrow or the next day, and we'll go over the exact what we're looking at when it comes to CPI. But just to give you a short update, the CPI year to year is 6.4%, and that's from 6.5% in December, so it's going down slightly. And then the month-to-month increase is 0.5%, and that is actually up. So we're going to talk a little bit about what this all means tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you guys that information just so you know when it comes to CPI score, it did come in. Now, when it comes to food prices, they're still very high, so we'll focus on that tomorrow. But I want to go ahead and show you guys this press release here. And we're going to read this press release from the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee. Okay, this is Senator Bernie Sanders' committee. And here's his press release here. It says, amid Republican threats to Social Security, Sanders, Warren, Schakowsky, Howell, and colleagues introduced legislation to increase benefits and extend solvency through 2096. So let's go ahead and read this. As Republicans threaten cuts to Social Security and other essential federal programs, Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, along with Representative Jan Schakowsky and Val Howell in the U.S. Representatives, introduced legislation that would expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year and ensure Social Security is fully funded for the next 75 years, all without raising taxes by 1 penny on over 93% of American households that make $250,000 or less. So that is what we're looking at here. And then it goes on to say, these estimates reflect an analysis of the legislation conducted by the Social Security Administration at the request of Senator Sanders. The analysis was also released today in a letter from Chief Actuary Stephen Goss. So, and here's more information as far as other people who are joining in support of this legislation. So this is what we're looking at when it comes to the $2,400 raise for Social Security. This is good news. It's good news that at least Senator Bernie Sanders has reintroduced this. He introduced it last year, but he has to introduce it again because we have a new Congress. And so we'll have to see where it goes from here. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to vote on this in the committee first to see if they can pass it through. And we'll have to see if the leader will actually bring it. Leader Schumer will actually bring this to the floor and at least have a procedural vote. The procedural vote is to avoid the filibuster, and they'll need at least 60 votes in order to move past the procedural vote. So that means you're going to have some Republicans come on board. At least 9 Republicans need to come on board, and then all the Democrats need to be for this $2,400 raise in order for this to move through the Senate. And so if it does move through the Senate, this is going to be very hard. I've told you guys this already. It's going to be very hard, mainly because you need the 60 votes. And then if it gets to the House, Republicans are going to have to support this. And right now, we don't really see any support. I don't know one single Republican who said that they are in favor of moving forward with a $2,400 raise for Social Security. Now, right now, there's a lot of heat on Republicans. And I want to show you this as well, because I think this is something interesting. So here's a list here. And this list, and let me just go over this. They're calling this a list of shame. This is Social Security Works. That's where I got this information from. So you have 156 House Republicans have signed a plan to slash Social Security. Now, what they want to do is raise the full retirement age to 70. Now, raising the full retirement age to 70, that's actually a cut to Social Security, because people will be able to receive Social Security for a shorter period of time because you're raising it up from 67 to 70. And so this is the list. I'm not going to go over all the people on here, but you can do just a screen grab and you can check to see if your representative is on this list. But there's 156 of them right now who are in favor of raising that full retirement age. And I've talked about some of the other politicians who've come out, and some of the senators mainly, that have come out and said, yes, we should raise that full retirement age. And so this is something that we're going to hear more about. Now, when it comes to the debt ceiling, we're probably not going to hear this argument when it comes to the debt ceiling. But after they raise the debt ceiling, which they will, after they do that, then we're going to start hearing reforming Social Security. This is how we need to reform it. And you're going to have these different plans out there. So that $2,400 raise, that is a plan. When it comes to raising a full retirement age, that's a plan. You're going to hear the payroll tax increase. That will be a plan. And then you also hear the cap, raising the cap. That's another plan in itself. The $2,400 raise raises the cap, but there's two versions of raising the cap. Senator Bernie Sanders wants to raise the cap for people making $250,000 or more. The White House is more interested in raising the cap for $400,000 or more. So families that earn $400,000 or less would not have to pay anything extra. But when it comes to people making $400,000 or more, that's when they'll have to start paying into that payroll tax again. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out, because this is a little different situation than we were in a couple of months ago. A couple of months ago, you didn't hear much talk about Social Security, cuts to Social Security, or anything like that. But after the State of the Union address, after Republicans stood up and said, no, we don't want to cut Social Security, now there's a real debate going on when it comes to Social Security, reforming Social Security, because you have politicians on both sides saying we need to reform Social Security. Okay, when are you going to do that? That's the whole talk now. So you have politicians that are they're getting a little pressure to actually do something, because they're going to have to do something before 2035, because that's when we're potentially looking at the trust fund running out of money. And if that's the case, that's when we'll see an automatic reduction. And so that's what they're trying to avoid. And so now that the talk is out there, this is a good time for these plans to be in front of the American people, so they can see what these politicians are really focused on and where they want to go with Social Security. So we're just going to have to see what happens in the future. Just wanted to bring this information to you. Like I said, tomorrow, CPI, I'll do a more detailed video on the CPI, and we'll go over the different categories when it comes to that. But this is good news. At least Senator Bernie Sanders introduced this bill. We'll have to see if it can make its way through the Senate, and we'll be following it. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification, because I will be following this bill to see if it goes any further. I hope that Leader Schumer will at least bring this to the floor so they can have a procedural vote. Just do that. And then if they vote it down, you'll have Republicans that will be voting it down, basically, because most Democrats are probably going to be on board for this. So you'll see exactly what the makeup is, and you'll see who's for a $2,400 raise and who's against a $2,400 raise. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. So let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.